Hello, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm sharing with you 13 things you need to know about yelling, and hopefully at the end of the day, it will help you make an informed decision whether to keep yelling at your children or to find alternative ways to discipline. My name is Elinor Rebo, and I work with young school children teaching manners, etiquette, sexuality education, leadership skills, and I also coach and mentor parents in a private space called Parenting Accountability Community. So let's go into 13 things you need to know about yelling. Firstly, I'd like to say that no one can absolutely ditch yelling. Yes, once in a while you will find yourself yelling. Truth, because there are so many things that actually pressures you to yell. So if you find yourself yelling once in a while, it's okay. Forgive yourself, apologize to the child, and make sure you note your triggers and you work on them. And make sure you do not repeat them. You become proactive. You know how to empower yourself to prepare for such situations so that yelling doesn't occur a second time over the same issue. Before I continue, I want to say thank you for my returning subscribers. If you are returning, it means you are getting value. Thank you for coming. Do well to come again and again, and I promise to always give you nothing but value. If you are new here, thank you for finding me. We have value here. You can check my previous videos and you'll be greatly empowered. And don't forget to also feel free to drop your questions in the comment section anytime. And do well to share, subscribe, and leave your comments. Thank you. Now, the first reason you should stop yelling is because yelling programs your child to only respond when you yell. That's familiar, right? You say the first time, the child doesn't listen, the second time until you yell. Yes, it does one of the things yelling does. Because you have programmed the child not to respond until you yell, so you keep yelling. Firstly, yelling programs your child not to respond until you yell. Secondly, it leads to frustration in parenting. Yes, because you have to yell, you get frustrated, and sometimes you get angry, then you start hitting, you start cursing, you start saying those things you want to say, you start yelling the more, you start smacking and going the length you do not want to go just to get compliance. That is one of the things yelling does. Thirdly, yelling models lack of emotional intelligence. Yes, emotional control. You are not able to control yourself, and your child is learning from you how you react to issues. So your child also learns not to be able to get a hold of their emotions when things happen. So yelling models lack of emotional controls to your child. Now, this is very important. The fourth one, yelling robs the time for bonding, for connection. Imagine you are a parent, you just returning from work and you are triggered, you begin to yell. It takes a while for you to calm down, and your child becomes sad and you become angry. Imagine the time you spent yelling, the time you take for your anger to dissipate, the time you take for your child to get to become happy is a long time. Just imagine if you are a parent who works 9 to 5, then you have to drive home, then you get back home, and all the drama of yelling. Where is the time for bonding? There's hardly no time for bonding, no time for connection, because yelling has taken the position of bonding and connection. Yelling robs the time for connection and bonding. Don't ever forget that. Yelling slackens your influence over your child. Yes, because you are not listening, you are not connecting, you are not empathizing. You are just over the roof yelling. You are not listening, and everyone loves to be listened to. So yelling slackens your influence over your child. So if you ever want to be able to influence your children, minimize the yelling, because yelling slackens your influence. Yelling doesn't model respect. Yes, you are yelling. Everyone loves to be respected. It is very important. Yelling doesn't teach respect. Yelling doesn't model respect. Yelling doesn't show respect to your children. So if you want your children to feel respected by you, you need to minimize the yelling. And that respect is one of the ways you can actually influence them at the end of the day. 7, I think. should be 7. Yelling doesn't address the root cause of the issue. Something happens, you don't have time to listen, you don't have time to empathize, you don't have time for collaborative solution finding. You are yelling. It doesn't address the root cause. So behavior is likely going to be repeated because you have not treated, you have not disciplined the heart of the child. So yelling doesn't address the root cause of any misbehavior. Now, this is why children repeat the same behaviors after they have been yelled at. Constant yelling makes children afraid. It affects their self-esteem. They become afraid, they become timid, they are not bold, they are not self-confident, and this is not what you want for your child. So yelling is not a tool that will take you to your parenting vision. Yelling doesn't give you the opportunity to acknowledge the good in your children. Yes, every child has a good in him or her, no matter what they are doing. If you're able to pause and look at it from another angle, look at what they are doing from another angle, you will realize that it's not all so bad. And one of the ways to motivate children is to acknowledge a little good in them. But yelling doesn't give you that time, because yelling is almost spontaneous. So it never gives you the time to acknowledge the good in them, which is a tool that will help you raise children with healthy self-esteem. Yelling empties your child love tank, especially when you have a child whose love language is words of affirmation. You constantly yelling at them is like a betrayer. It's like using something that is important to them against them. So it empties their love tank. And what happens when your child feels empty love-wise is that they begin to seek love in the wrong places. Now, this is why children, they go out there to seek love, because at home they are not finding love. You think, oh, you are giving all the love. No, but if your child love tank is empty, your child is likely going to be lonely, likely going to feel this kind of inner emptiness, and they are likely going to seek it in the wrong places. And number 13, yelling confuses children, especially younger children. When you yell at them, they are confused. And something happens. Sometimes you want your child to do something and they're not doing it right, and you are yelling at them and then they get it right. You feel, oh, it is because you have yelled at them that they got it right. No, they were confused. They were just guessing. So they were lucky to have guessed right. So because you yelled and they got it right, you feel it's because of the yelling. No, yelling confuses them, because yelling, when you yell at a child, the reasoning part of his or her brain shuts down. They can't reason straight. They can't understand you. So they just, that is why sometimes when you yell at children, they are confused more, and they even make more mistakes because of your yelling. So yelling confuses the children. Now imagine if you yell every day. If you are constantly yelling at your child, it means you end up raising confused human beings whose reasoning brain will always be shut down. So I hope with these 13 few points of mine, I have been able to convince you that you need to find alternative ways to correct or discipline your child. You need to explore more effective alternatives that will help you raise the child of your vision, and that are away from yelling. And guess what? If you need help, my next video is on how to minimize yelling, how to get your kids to cooperate with you, to answer you the first time, to respond the first time without you necessarily yelling. So you want to watch out for my next video, so you learn, you get empowered with this tool. My name is Elimio Rebo. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please do well to share, do well to subscribe, do well to tell everyone you know about this channel and what we are doing. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.